friends, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel. So today in this session we will learn that how we can create web servers, how we'll create firewall rules so that web servers can be accessed, and more importantly we will learn that how to control your VPC network and what roles a network and security admins have in cloud. So we will do all these things in today's session in this video. So friends, we will first deploy two web servers. So for that we have to create a virtual machine. So I'm going to compute and I'll go to the VM instances. And I click on create. So I'll name this a name as blue. You can name as per your wish. Everything I'll keep this as default, and so the operating system and all these things I'll be going with Linux only, which is by default. And the network tags and network tabs I will give it a tag a web server. You will understand that why I am giving this tab later, because when I create this firewall rule I'll mention this tag there, and those policies whatever I'll be making will be applicable to this virtual machine. So firstly I will create the virtual machine. Later I'll install the NGINX server here. So till the time it is creating, I'll create one more virtual machine for the second web server, and I'm going to name it as green. Here also I'll keep everything as default, and I'll click and create. So here I am not mentioning any network tag, so I'll be creating this virtual machine without any virtual tab, without any network tag. So brew virtual machine has been created. Now it's time to install the NGINX web server, that how to make this virtual machine as a web server. So I'll take the SSH of this blue virtual machine, so which I have already opened the blue virtual machine, and I'm going to install the web. Sorry for that. And I'm going to install web server. So to install the web server, the command is sudo, means you're giving the rights, apt get install the nginx lite y. So it has been installed, and now what I have to do, I'll open the index or the HTML file which we are going to display in this web server. So sudo, again you're giving the rights, nano is the editor, and this is the location for the file. So this is what a HTML page will looks like, and what I will do here is I will change this thing. So I will delete the NGINX and I will name to save this thing you have to use these commands, else you will mess up to how to get out of this editor. So you will have to do Control O, enter. To exit you have to click Control X and you are out. Same thing we have to do with the green server. So again, but first let us check whatever we have done, are the changes applicable. So I will use the cat command to see. So you can see here changes are made. Welcome to blue server. So similarly I'll install the same thing with the green server. So I will use the same command, sudo get update. Okay, so this is being installed, and now I will again go to the HTML file and I will edit this. And here I will write welcome to the green server. This is just to show you that what is the difference when we are applying the firewall rules and when we are not applying the firewall rules. So this is done. So again, be very careful when you are saving the file. Control O, enter. So that is the changes are being saved. Control X and you are out of the editor. Sometime after Control X they will say whether you want to save the file or not, or you want to get out or not. So there are two options, Y, N. So that time you have to click Y and enter. Now we will check whether the changes that we are trying to make are been made or not. So I will use the cat command to open this file. So yes, changes are made. Now what we will do is we will go and create firewall rules. So I'll go again back to my console. I'll go. Now I'll tell you why I'm going to create the firewall rules. Because we have created the virtual machine in which we have deployed the web server, but how a person can access it from outside? You have to provide the desired ports that or allow the ports like port 80 for HTTP for the HTTPS 443. So I will go to the network and to the firewall. So you can see here the default firewall tools which are there. It's ICMP, internal, RDP and SSL. So these are the port numbers for the protocols. So here nowhere we have a port open for the web server, which means port 80. So what we will do, we will create a separate firewall, new firewall rule, so that any person who's sitting outside can access the web server. So I'm going to name it allow HTTP web server. And remember when I created the network, so network, it is going to be default because we are having a single network. Now here's the important thing. I don't want here that all the instances which are there, which means blue and green, both should be, or the firewall rules are applied. I'm going to apply only to the special tag which I have mentioned. Remember when I was saying that I'm giving it tag to the blue server. So I'll be mentioning the tag here, which means that this firewall rule is only applied to that server. So if you're having 10 or 15 virtual machines and you have given tag to only 10, so only this firewall rule will be applicable to those 10 machines only. So for which IP ranges you want to get this thing done. So for every IP range means you want that everyone outside can see this web server. So on the basis of IP ranges, I'm allowing everyone to access the web server. Now here TCP port 80. So if you don't know what is port 80 for, you can see here. I will be searching for you. It is for HTTP. So we are creating rule for that. So I'm now going to create and click. So a firewall rule is created. Now the real magic is going to begin. Once the firewall rule is created, so it's created. This one, port 80. Now I'll be going to my compute engine, and now we are going to test. So I'll be creating one more virtual machine just to check on this SSH. Either I could create a virtual machine from GUI, or I'll see if I can create it from CLI, whether I'll be having the permissions. I'm going to continue here this Cloud Shell. It is taking a bit of time. So the SSH have started. Now I will check what all compute zones are available. Okay, so it is making some API call. Okay, so what I did here is I just tried to check that which all compute zones are available, which means this thing. You can see here all these things. So it is showing that US East, like here, US Central 1 or US central or US east. So all this like US central one we can see here in GUI. So similarly it is showing that it is available with us. So all these zones and these are available. Now what I will do is I'll tell you that how you can create a virtual machine. Okay, so what I did here is, so this is the command like gcloud compute instance. So what we are doing, we are creating a test virtual machine. So this is the name. Now machine type is T1 standard one, which means we are mentioning here this thing, this series, like we are mentioned N1. So first generation. I'm not creating this, I'm just showing that how you can create from GUI and CLI. So subnet is default because we are having only one network. Zone. So zone I have to choose here. So if I'll choose any zone of my wish. So I'll go with, suppose, so fine, I'll go with US Central. Which one is here? It's A, so I'll go with this one. So now the virtual machine will be created. In few seconds it will start. Okay, so we can see a virtual machine is created, and if I get back from here, I can see that virtual machine has created test virtual machine. So what I will do is I will go to its SSH and see whether we can access the other two virtual machines or not. So this is what is going to happen. Suppose a company, it has made web servers which is on cloud, and we as a user, so this I have made here, but we as a user, suppose you or me, we are trying to access it from our suppose laptops or desktops. So that is what I'll be trying to do. So I've created a test machine and I'm going to check whether I can access this too or not. So I'll try from the test VM. I'll try to access both through the internal and external IPs, and later I'll be accessing it over the browser also from my laptop. So I'll just open the test VM SSH. So the SSH of test VM I have opened. Now what I will do is I will use the curl command to access the internal IPs of the blue. So see, I can access this. Welcome to blue server. Similarly, I will try to access for the blue one. I'm trying to see I'm entering the internal IPs .3. So it is also accessing welcome to green server. Now I will access the external IPs. Now remember, when I have created the firewall rule for blue, I have created for the web server network tag, and in blue only I have given the network tag. I'll see if I can show you from here. Yes, so for this I have given the network tag, which means the firewall policy has been made for this one. But for green, I'm not having any network tags, nothing. So when I'm trying to access it over the external IP, which means any user over the internet is trying to access, let's see, the blue one, he or she can access, but the green, he will not able be accessed because we have not created the firewall rule for this one. So I'll copy. So you can see here, welcome to blue server, it's working. Now I'll check for the green one. It's not working. So you can see here, it will throw some error. It will not work. Same thing you can see over the internet also. Firstly, I will do Control C to exit from this. And I'll show you that whether I can access it over the internet or not. So HTTP. Since it's HTTP was port 80, so you can see here, welcome to blue server. So which means that it is working. But if I'll go with the green, it will not work because we have not allowed the firewall rules, and it will throw some error. So it's not working because it's taking more time. So this is all from my side, and how you can create a web server, how the firewall rules are created, and how this firewall rule works. So you are able to access the blue one because it is having a network tag. Where's the network tag? This one, which we have made a firewall rule, and it is allowing the port 80 traffic. See, firewall rule, you can see the target is web server only, port 80. So that is why the blue server is working and it is not the green one. It is unreachable showing. So that is how firewalls and the networking works. So if you have liked the video, or if you're having any comments or any questions, just put it in my comment box and I'll revert back. Thank you very much.